CNN recently ran an article on their front page online that had to do with how Fox News was treating Joe Biden unfairly. Now, keep in mind, Joe Biden is the corporatist, centrist, Democratic presidential candidate, and CNN would love for this guy to win, considering how Joe Biden would definitely not raise taxes on the rich, specifically the CEOs that own CNN. So CNN has a fiduciary responsibility to see to it that corporatists win this 2020 election and not Bernie Sanders. And so they ran this article about how Fox News is being so unfair to Joe Biden. And it's super ironic for multiple reasons. Number one, Fox News has done the best at reporting the Democratic presidential candidates at this point. And that's super hard for me to say as a progressive, considering how far right Fox News actually is at this point. So understand, yes, Fox News would love Donald Trump to win. Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, they all want to see Donald Trump win. That's not a surprise. But when they cover Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, they do so in a totally fair way. And so CNN will do whatever they can to cover for Joe Biden so that Joe Biden wins. Now, the other ironic piece to this is that CNN has done a bunch of hit pieces on Bernie Sanders. So I'm going to exploit them at the end of, after we read this article, I'm going to show you guys the article they ran like 10 months ago where they put Bernie Sanders in 5th place. And the reason why they picked Bernie Sanders in 5th place and Joe Biden in 1st place is hilarious. So let's read a little bit of this article. Well, actually, I'm just going to detail. I'm not going to read it for you. I'm just going to outline what it says. And then I'm going to show you guys a little bit of history about CNN. So first off, the headline reads, Donald Trump and Fox News are dog whistling on Joe Biden. And basically what they say is that Fox News is unfairly calling Joe Biden old and that he has health problems, which at this point is probably true because he's pretty much one of the oldest candidates that's running for office right now. Now, I do want to mention for future reference, this article is run by Chris Cillizza. This guy is sleazy. This guy is a sleazy journalist. If you read any article or watch any of his YouTube videos, almost 100% of them that I've seen so far have been hit pieces on someone. And so when I saw this article at first, I was like, okay, I'm actually probably going to have to come to the defense of Fox News here because Fox News has been doing very good articles regarding Bernie Sanders and everyone else. So, so it's not surprising that this is from Chris Cillizza. Now, let's take a look at an article that was ran 10 months ago. Let me pull it up here, and then we'll talk about it because it's super ironic. So basically, to give you a sense of what was going on here, this was August 16th, 2018, so that's about 10 months ago. And sorry, it's skipping a little bit. My frames are skipping a little bit. All right, so this is their definitive ranking of 2020 Democrats from the same author. Chris Cillizza, super sleazy guy. Let's take a look at how they rank these 20 individuals. So first off, it should be noted that number 1 was Joe Biden. And number 2, Elizabeth Warren. Number 3, Kamala Harris. Number 4, Kirsten Gillibrand. And then number 5, Bernie Sanders. And I want to read you specifically their piece on Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden. First off, Kirsten Gillibrand is ahead of Bernie Sanders. That's already funny because she's like a nobody at this point. She has like a popularity rating of like 1% or something. She's barely squeezing in the debates at this point. But keep in mind, this was 10 months ago. But it's still like Bernie Sanders should absolutely be number 1. Absolutely number 1. Okay, so let's see exactly why Bernie Sanders was number 5. Perhaps no pick generated as much controversy last month as placing Vermont's junior senator at number 5. Some wanted him higher because he retains high favorable ratings nationally and came in second to Hillary Clinton in 2016. Both are fair points and why he's so high up on the list. He's so high up on the list, guys. Like Kirsten Gillibrand and Kamala Harris, they're also. But Bernie Sanders, he's high on the list, don't worry. Sanders' problem is he's trailing Biden. Has many of Biden's flaws, old, white, and male. Literally, read it right there. Old, white, and male. Fox News is guilty of calling Joe Biden old, white, and male, but CNN would never do that. CNN would never call anyone old, white, and male. And carries a huge additional one, and this one threw me off. Sanders is not a Democrat. He's not a Democrat. He's not even... Because Joe Biden is the most progressive candidate ever, right, guys? Oh, jeez. He freaking almost won the 2016 Democratic primaries. But read their explanation. Even after winning the Democratic nomination for Senate in 2018, he declined the nomination and forged ahead with his independent bid, which is for historical reasons, by the way, guys. It's how Vermont works. Most of the people who vote in Democratic primaries are Democrats. You're not a Democrat, Bernie Sanders. You don't actually want any progressive policies. But Fox News, guys, Fox News is the one that's super guilty of trying to unfairly treat any presidential candidate here. Now, let's take a look at Kamala Harris. Or maybe let's read Kirsten Gillibrand first, just from some fun right here. No one's ranking this side of Bernie Sanders got a bigger reaction from people last month than New York senators. Lots and lots of people think we have her ranked too high for, among other reasons, the fact that her conservative record as a House member suggests her liberal turn is easily caricatured as entirely political. Maybe. But the 2018 primary season so far has taught us that the Democratic Party wants to elect liberal women. So we're talking about identity politics. CNN is saying that Kirsten Gillibrand is better than Bernie Sanders because she's a woman. And they've decided to throw in there liberal too. Liberal. Despite the fact that up here they call her conservative. And Gillibrand will have the record in the Senate and the money to make that case. Let's see Kamala Harris. Why did they put her above Bernie Sanders? That's strange. Harris, maybe it's because CNN donated to her for the 2020 election. That's strange. That's kind of coincidental. Harris carries obvious advantages that few other Democrats can claim. We saw how Trump leveraged the media to his advantage in 2016, and Harris hails from the state with the second largest media market in the country, LA. Being an Indian American, notice how we're trying to attack Bernie Sanders here with identity politics, and African American woman will help her draw a sharp contrast with a white male Republican who made his bones in reactionary politics. Harris is also very liberal in a party. Very liberal, yeah, sure. Let's see her average donor size again. $50? What was Bernie Sanders? I forgot. Maybe it was a little bit less. I think it was like 20 something. All right, maybe less. I don't know. Harris is also very liberal in a party that is becoming more liberal, but has ties to the establishment. The latter may hurt her, though so far the establishment is doing about as well in 2018 primaries as it did in 2016, which means not very well. All right, let's keep going. Elizabeth Warren, ranking number 2 was probably the right thing to do there because she actually is ranked number 2. All right, Joe Biden, let's see where this guy stands. The former vice president retains the top ranking on our list. Yes, his age 75 and the fact that he's a white man have their disadvantages in the Democratic Party that is getting younger, more diverse, and is nominating more women every cycle. Biden, though, continues to have clear advantages. He was the vice president of one of the worst presidents ever, who remains the closest thing the party has to a leader. Apparently, Obama is the leader of the Democratic Party, and Biden himself is very popular. But Bernie Sanders isn't. Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician in the U.S. Period. He literally has the highest approval rating of any politician in the U.S. But you know what? Joe Biden's popular. He also currently is ahead of his nearest competitor by about 10 points in primary polls. Who's his nearest competitor? Oh, we forgot to mention that part. Maybe it was Bernie Sanders. And it was. What do you know? Even at this point, polls have forecasted the nominees since 1972, about half the time when no incumbent was running for a majority party nomination. So Fox News, I have a message for you. If you're watching this, which you're probably not because I only have 2,000 subscribers, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep crapping on Joe Biden, please. It would honestly make me really happy to see Joe Biden fall because he is establishment. And so is CNN. And CNN, calm down, dude. Chris Cillizza, you are a sleazy journalist. And the fact that you're doing hit pieces against Fox News when you yourself have done huge hit pieces against Bernie Sanders, you have no room to stand.